It hurts. It really hurts. I suddenly woke up with a start and sat up on the bed feeling scared. I touched my neck, as if the excruciating pain from being slit throat still lingered there. Before I could come to my senses, I instinctively fished out my phone from under the pillow to check the time. It was 5 o'clock in the morning on month day. I was reborn. I've returned to the day that turned my life around. Today. Lily and I would have been stopped by the gangster Henry and his lackeys on our way to school. Lily would have been forcefully dragged into the small grove by Henry, who tried to have an intimate conversation with her. In my previous life, I protected her. I fought against 10 of them, and in the end Henry, who played dirty, stabbed me in the kidney with a knife. When I fell to the ground and bled profusely, he even broke my legs with a stick. And Lily hid in the corner, shivering and too afraid to call the police. It was a kind classmate passing by who helped me call an ambulance and the police. I was severely injured and sent to the ICU for emergency treatment. At the age of I became a cripple without the ability to have children. After the incident, since Henry was already over 8 years old and an adult, the police pursued his criminal responsibility and sentenced him to 10 years in prison. Lily, unharmed, sobbed in her parents' arms. I thought she was crying because of my injury, and I even comforted her not to be sad. I never expected that she was actually crying for Henry, who was in jail. I never blamed her for this matter, because I also thought she was a victim. Lily later entered the entertainment industry, and I became her manager. I accompanied her all the way to the peak, but when she achieved success and fame, she publicly accused me on the internet. I was wrongly accused of sexual harassment and controlling her with unfounded charges. In the end, I was stabbed hundreds of times and had my throat slit by one of her perverted and fanatical fans and die. I never thought that in my short 30-year life, Jim, I would be stabbed twice because of a woman. I hate it. I'm resentful. Our parents have a very good relationship. Lily and I have been studying in the same school and the same class since primary school. I was also assigned by the parents the responsibility to protect her. We went to and from school together. No matter what, I can't go out with her today. I decisively got up and went into the bathroom. In this cold winter of December, I took a cold shower for an hour. By 6 o'clock, I already had a fever. My mother pushed open my door at 7 o'clock and called me to get up for breakfast and go to school at this time. I already had a high fever. Mom, can I not go to school today? I said to my mother in a hoarse voice. Oh, why are you suddenly sick, my child? You're in such a state. Who would have the heart to let you go to school? All right. I'll call your teacher to ask for leave for you. Come on. Let's go. Your dad and I will take you to the hospital now. My father, who was having breakfast at the table, heard my mother's words and finished his meal in a few bites. Then he picked me up and carried me downstairs. I held my phone lightly in my hand. Only after I saw that person replied to my message did I fall asleep peacefully. Son, wake up, your classmate is here to see you. When I opened my eyes again, I was already lying on the hospital bed with an IV drip. Sophia, whom I had called, stood at the door of the ward at a loss. Hello, Auntie. I'm Sophia. Jim messaged me that he was sick and asked me to help him hand in his homework. After several years, I saw this gentle and well-behaved girl again, and my heart ached with bitterness. It's so good that she wasn't implicated by me in this life. Good girl, come in quickly. Auntie will peel a fruit for you. It's really troublesome for you. My mother warmly invited Sophia in. She quickly waved her hand to refuse. Thank you, Auntie. No need. I still have to go to school. Sophia lives in the community next to mine, so we take the same way to school. To save time, we would cut through a small path and go directly to the school. And today, Lily would be pulled into the small grove beside that path by Xiaopeng. In my previous life, Sophia was that kind classmate who helped me call the police. At the same time, she also secretly recorded a video to preserve evidence for me. Otherwise, It would have been very difficult to safeguard my rights on that path without surveillance. After the incident, Sophia suffered severe retaliation from Xiaoping's group and Xiaoping's grandmother. When I woke up from the intensive care unit and wanted to thank her, she, who had excellent grades, had already been forced to drop out of school and was taken to a foreign place by her mother. Since then, we lost contact, so I deliberately got sick, not only to avoid Lily and Xiaoping, that despicable couple who were willing to play the roles of the abuser and the victim. I also wanted to find an excuse to send Sophia away. Who would take that path today? Sophia is a very gentle, kind, and warm-hearted girl, so I was certain that after receiving my message, she would come to the hospital to help me. At this time, if she goes to school from the hospital, she will only take the main road and will never go back to the community and take the small path. It's so good that, in this life, the two of us have avoided those scumbags. After seeing Sophia off, I lay on the hospital bed bored, recollecting the major events that happened in my previous life in my mind. Having been reborn, I will seize the opportunity and let the people I love and those who love me live a good life. My mother looked at me curiously. Son, what's your relationship with that girl? My mother is a person who can't hold back her words, and she couldn't help but ask. In the past few years of my life, I had only been close to Lily among girls. My youthful ignorance and the budding of my love were obvious at a glance to the adults. Both sets of parents knew about this, including Lily. But she always refused me on the grounds that students should focus on their studies. After I had the accident, I felt that I couldn't give her happiness, so I never mentioned it again. I just thought it would be good to be by her side. I had accompanied her since her debut, devoting myself silently. I never expected that she would betray my sincere feelings. My mother didn't expect that this time I was sick. Instead of calling Lily, I called another girl. Mom, I have no relationship with Lily. Don't guess randomly. She has someone she likes. I'm too lazy to care about you young people's affairs. As long as you're happy. The love of parents for their children is deep, selfless, and meticulous. This kind of love is an innate instinct, asking for nothing in return, only wishing for their children's happiness. In my previous life, I was unfilial for the sake of Lily. I ignored my own safety after the incident. My mother, who was still in her middle age, turned white-haired overnight. I was so stupid. I sacrificed everything for love. But in the end, I was betrayed and ended up with nothing. After I died, my consciousness lingered for a while. I watched my parents go to Lily to ask for an explanation, but they were beaten out by the security guards. Even after my death, her fans still wouldn't let me go. They came to my home, threw feces and urine, and made my parents afraid to go out. My father died of a heart disease attack out of anger. My mother, having lost both her husband and son, no longer had the will to live and set our once warm home on fire. In this new life, I will let my parents live the best life. My father took me to the hospital in the morning and then went to work. My mother doesn't have a job and is a housewife, so she stayed in the hospital with me and took care of me. At noon, my mother planned to go to the hospital cafeteria to buy me something to eat. Just then, my mother received a call from Lily's parents, and she answered it. Hello, what's the matter? The angry voice of Lily's mother came from the other end of the phone. The voice was so loud that even though my mother didn't turn on the speakerphone, I could hear it clearly. What's wrong with your son? Why didn't he go to school with you today? He said he would protect my daughter, but as a result, he let my daughter suffer such harm today. My mother was left confused. Hey, wait a minute. Lily's mom, what do you mean? My son has a high fever and is on leave from school today. What happened to your daughter? Bring your son to the hospital now. Lily's mother hung up the phone angrily. My mother was also a bit angry. Even someone with a usually good temper couldn't help but swear. Is she crazy? What does her daughter's problem have to do with us? Hearing this, I knew that Henry had successfully got on Lily this time just then. My IV drip had finished. My mother and I went to see Lily together. Lily was having an examination in the gynecology department. Besides Lily's mother, there were also the police officers with her. The doctor came out with the examination report. This classmate has a slight tear in her private part. She did have sexual intercourse with someone just now. The police officer asked her seriously, "This classmate, were you coerced by someone? Tell us, and we can help you pursue the criminal responsibility of the other party." Lily's mother cried and slapped her thigh. "Which bastard did this? How dare he harm my daughter like this? Tell us who it is and Mom will stand up for you." Lily stood there with disheveled clothes, not daring to speak. It's Jim. I really didn't want to expose her lover. Under the questioning of her mother, she said my name. "That little bastard. I'll make him go to jail." My mother and I heard their entire conversation outside the door. My mother sneered, pushed the door open, and rushed up to Lily to question her. "Lily, I used to think you were a good girl. Why are you making up lies and framing my son?" "Auntie, Lily's mother protectively pushed her behind her. "Your son has always had improper thoughts about my daughter. Who knows if he had evil intentions towards my daughter on the way to school? You're talking nonsense. My son has had a high fever today and has been lying in the hospital since the morning. If you don't believe it, you can check the surveillance." My mother showed the police my medical records. The police officer flipped through them and said to Lily, "This classmate, I know you've been hurt, but please tell us the information of the perpetrator truthfully." Lily fell silent again at this moment. An auntie beside them spoke up. "It really wasn't this young man. I saw it just now. It was a group of gangsters. This time. Without me going with her. And Sophia didn't show up at that time either." Lily was dragged into the small grove by Henry for an affair. Henry's brothers stood guard outside and listened to the sounds. It was only later, when this auntie rode a bicycle past, that she helped Lily call the police. Lily remained silent, looking at me with tears in her eyes. "It's so ridiculous it has nothing to do with me. I won't feel sorry for you." "Lily, I don't know what you mean by framing me, but I dare to take a DNA test to you." Lily's mother was unhappy when she heard my words. "Even if you didn't do this, you still have to take responsibility for my daughter. If you hadn't abandoned her and left her to go to school alone, my daughter wouldn't have been targeted by the gangsters. My daughter is so well behaved. It must be you who caused trouble, provoked the gangsters, and implicated our UI. I retorted, "Auntie, what you said is not right. Who am I to Lily? Has your family paid me to protect her? First, we're just ordinary neighbors. Second, there's no employment relationship between us. Why should I be responsible for this? Protecting your daughter is not my obligation since you, as parents, are worried about your daughter's safety. Why don't you send her to and pick her up from school? This is your dereliction of duty. Also, there's a proper person to blame instead of coming here to pick a fight with me. It would be better if you asked your daughter to tell us who that gangster is." My mother angrily pulled me away. "This is really ridiculous. We regarded their family as friends, but they treated us like suckers. Won't have any more contact with them in the future." In the end, Lily still didn't say Harry's name. They really are a loving couple. Lily pulled her mother to the corner and whispered to her for a while, persuading her mother in the end. They chose not to call the police. I know what she would say. Lily is an art and sports student. We're already in our senior year of high school this semester, and she's about to take the art college entrance examination. If a criminal dispute breaks out now, it's very likely to affect her exam. Moreover, she can't bear to let Henry go to jail, because one is willing to be beaten and the other is willing to beat. In my previous life, I thought Henry was unilaterally pestering Lily. He often blocked Lily at school. He would swagger into our classroom and give Lily milk tea. He would warn every boy who got close to Lily, saying that Lily was his woman. His mother ran away with a rich man, leaving only his grandmother to raise him like father, like son. Henry inherited his father's bad genes. Since junior high school, he has been riding a motorcycle and getting into fights with people from other schools. In high school, he even dropped out of school, skipping classes every day to go to internet cafes and clubs. The school wanted to expel him, but Henry's grandmother came to the school and made a scene, crying, making a fuss, and threatening to commit suicide. The school was afraid of something happening and couldn't do anything about them. They told Lily that we should tell the teacher and our parents about Henry's actions. We couldn't let a street ruffian affect our most important senior year of high school. We all have bright futures ahead of us, while a person like him can only rot and stink in the gutter. Lily didn't agree with me. Jim, I never expected you to be this kind of person. Henry is already pitiful enough. He has no father or mother, and only his grandmother is a relative. What we should do is to save him, not push him into a deeper abyss. And he's not a gangster. He's the school bully. He's very powerful with so many lackeys following him. He has the ability. He will definitely do better than a bookworm like you in the future. Thinking of her words now, I really admire her. Lily sees herself as the female lead in a redemption story. Well, I'll just wait and see how her male lead will treat her. Since that day, the parents of the two families had a falling out, and our family and Lily's family became completely enemies. Lily didn't feel guilty about framing me instead. She thought I was being aggressive. Lily's parents were busy with work and didn't have time to pick her up and send her to school, so Lily was arranged to live in the school dormitory. Living in the school made it even more convenient for this illicit couple. Lily would secretly slip out to meet Henry during evening self-study. Although there is no small grove in the school, there are toilets in the sports equipment room. Henry took Lily to experience every corner of the school. At first, Lily was a bit afraid that I would find out, but later, seeing that I didn't react, she became unscrupulous. In fact, I saw everything, but I pretended not to know. Your beloved Henry will give you a huge surprise. Sure enough, 2 months later, during the art college entrance examination, Lily fainted in the examination room. After being sent to the hospital, it was found that she was pregnant. Lily's mother rushed to the hospital upon receiving the notice. She was almost driven crazy. She had doted on her daughter since she was a child, spending a large amount of money on her art studies. Yet, at only 18 years old, her daughter was already pregnant by someone else. Henry swaggered into the hospital carrying a bag of apples and said brazenly to Lily's mother, "Since Lily is carrying my family's offspring, I will take responsibility for her. I'll raise the child when it's born." Lily's mother gritted her teeth in anger, but Lily was extremely touched. She vowed to give birth to the crystallization of their love for Henry. Lily believed that the warmth of the child and the family could redeem the degenerate Henry. "Mom, I love him. No one has ever treated me as well as he does. You've been very strict with me since I was a child. You don't love me at all. You just want to show off having an excellent daughter. But Henry is different and loves me for who I am. You strictly control my diet, while he will bring me a cup of my favorite milk tea after my dance class, and he's never stingy about expressing his love for me. He makes the whole world know that I'm the woman he loves. It's really ridiculous." Although Lily's parents have a bad character in some aspects, they truly dote on Lily and have always granted her every wish since she was a child. Just because they had some requirements for her quality of life, Lily thought they were controlling her. Just a few calls of sister-in-law from Henry's lackeys fascinated her. Lily's parents disagreed, so Henry sent his grandmother to make trouble at Lily's home. "Oh, you heartless people. You want to kill off the Liu family's descendants. If my great-grandchild is gone, this old woman, won't live either. I'll hang myself right at your doorstep. Lily was determined to give birth to the child and even threatened to commit suicide to stop her parents from taking her to have an abortion. And Mom, I really love him. Please let me give birth to this child. Anyway, this year's our college entrance examination has failed. I can still get into a school if I repeat the senior year next year. Lily's parents were so pressured that they aged overnight and their hair turned much whiter. They once came to my home, hoping that I could persuade Lily. My parents chose to shut the door and not see them. They wanted to drag me into this mess again. In the end, they couldn't resist Lily and had to let her give birth to the child. Henry, a young hooligan who rides a modified motorcycle, couldn't even support himself. He lived on his grandmother's subsistence allowance and protection money. When Lily was pregnant, she still had to rely on her family's support. Taking this opportunity, Henry moved into Lily's home with his grandmother and lorded it over them. To avoid these oddballs and keep out of trouble, my parents chose to move. As for why I know all this so clearly, I just bribed one of Henry's lackeys. I asked the lackey to whisper in Henry's ear and tell him that if Lily got into university and saw a broader world, she would leave him. Henry had an extremely bad family background, and no girl would ever look at him. He managed to coax the beautiful Lily into his arms. How can he let her fall so easily? So he decisively got Lily pregnant. Now, everything is fine for him. He got a wife without spending a penny, and what's more, the Warden's family even paid for him. Does Henry really love Lily? Impossible, he only loves himself. Lily is just someone he can profit from. Time passed quickly, and I also took the college entrance examination. Through my hard work and study since being reborn, I finally caught up with Sophia. Sue was the top student in the class. Both she and I were admitted to the provincial university with high scores and became alumni. On the university campus, I could finally pursue her. In order not to waste the opportunity of being reborn, I chose to major in computer science at this time. The short video platform would not rise for a few more years, and I could just seize this entrepreneurial opportunity. Although I don't remember the lottery numbers, I watched the World Cup in the summer when I was 18 this year. The World Cup was in full swing. It is held every 4 years. And before I died in my previous life, I had just watched 3 sessions. If you bet against the odds in football, you can get a villa by the sea. The odds of underdog teams are very high. I quickly accumulated wealth by betting on football games. During the summer vacation after the college entrance examination, I quietly became a multimillionaire. When the university started, Sophia and I began the campus life we had dreamed of. At this time, Lily had just given birth to a child, a daughter. Henry changed his gentle attitude towards Lily and scolded her for giving birth to a money-losing good-for-nothing. Not long after she finished the confinement period, Lily was pregnant again. Henry, who had already moved into Lily's home, would never let Lily continue her studies. He was like a blood-sucking leech, firmly attached to Lily's family, and sucking their blood and flesh. During the 4 years of university, Sophia and I developed feelings for each other over time and got together naturally. She is a wonderful girl, and I will give her happiness. After graduation, we met each other's parents on my 8th birthday. I took her to get the marriage certificate. My dear wife, please give me more guidance for the rest of our lives. In the summer after graduating from university, I made a fortune again by betting on the World Cup. I used this money as the startup capital and started a business in the short video field. Another 4 years passed, and there was another World Cup. I ranked among the top 10 on the wealthy list of who had GUO China, with the short video IPP under my company. This year, I was 8 years old. In my previous life, I died at this time, but in this life, it's different. I am physically healthy, have a happy marriage, a beautiful wife, and lovely children. Wealth and love can both nourish people. Sophia is no longer the shy little girl she used to be. Now she shines brightly. She is not only my wife and my virtuous assistant but also the COO of the group. She has accompanied me all the way. and we have overcome various difficulties together, eventually building a huge business empire. She has become a confident and brave, strong woman, showing amazing transformation and growth. My love for her grows stronger every day. At a business banquet, I unexpectedly met Lily again. She wore a seductive and glamorous heavy makeup and snuggled up to a pop-trailed wealthy businessman. She was completely different from the popular young actress in my previous life. I hadn't paid attention to her all these years. After all, she was just a stranger to me. She fed fruit to her sugar daddy in a delicate and boneless way, with a trace of barely noticeable disgust flashing in her eyes. Why pretend to be high and mighty? Without saying a word, I directly took the main seat at the banquet. Mr. Zhang, you're here. It was really hard to make an appointment with you. Thank you for gracing us with your presence this time. I was the youngest among these people, but also the one with the highest status. The fat man hugging Lily pushed her forward. Go and offer a toast to Mr. Zhang. Lily walked towards me slowly with a wine glass in her hand. When she saw my face, she froze instantly. You're Jim? She exclaimed in surprise. I was displeased and looked at her. Sugar daddy, since you came here to seek investment from me, you should know my rules. I dislike it the most when someone tries to offer me a woman at the dinner table. If you want investment, introduce your project properly. Don't play these underhanded tricks. I ignored them and turned to leave. Lily ran out after me. Jim, wait for me. She was crying pitifully, pouring out her hardships over the years to me. After she gave birth to 3 daughters in a row, Henry completely revealed his true colors and started beating her. She gave birth to 3 children in a short period of time, basically getting pregnant again just after finishing the confinement period. Her body was severely damaged, and she was no longer as beautiful as before. Henry got tired of her body and started looking for other women. He didn't go to work and just hung out on the streets every day without an economic source. He would ask Lily's parents for money. If they didn't give it, he would beat their daughter. Ew. Lily's parents had saved money for most of their lives, but Henry emptied their savings later. He even had the idea of selling the Lin family's house. Lily's father quarreled with him, and Henry, who was drunk, hacked him to death with a knife. Henry was sentenced to prison for another familiar 10 years. Without a father and a husband, Lily thought of her dream of becoming a star again. But she didn't graduate from a professional acting school, and life had worn her down and made her haggard. Big entertainment companies simply looked down on her, so she could only sign with a third-rate company. They claimed to be cultivating artists, but in fact, they were recruiting women to serve drinks for clients. Jim, I once thought about coming to find you, but you had already moved away. I sneered. What for? I'm not willing to be a man who takes over someone else's mess. I never expected that you would become a big boss. I thought it was just the same name. Lily still didn't understand her own situation clearly. Jim, I know you like me. I promise you let us be together, okay? No need. I already have a wife, who is thousands of times better than you. I don't want a woman like you. I used Shu. I don't mind. I can be with you without a formal status. I do mind. By the way, I just want to ask, what about your 3 children? Lily's face looked a bit unnatural. My mother will take care of them. I looked at her mockingly. Lily, you're neither a good daughter nor a good mother. You're just a selfish and brainless person. Jim, she tried to reach out and grab me, but the security guards who came over pinned her to the ground at once. With a loud bang, it seemed that she hit her head. I waved my hand, drag her away and send her to the hospital. Don't try to blackmail me with this. The next time I saw Lily was in the men's restroom of my company. She sneaked in after disguising herself. I turned around and saw Lily, and I was startled. Are you a pervert? This is the men's restroom. Lily glared at me viciously. Jin, You were reborn, weren't you? That's really a good question. I looked at Lily. Her eyes were completely different from those I saw at the banquet last time. I'm sure that she was reborn too. You have such a heartless nature. Jim, why did you harm me? Harm you? Lily? Wasn't this all your own doing? I didn't stop you from pursuing your true love. And I didn't send your Henry to prison or NTBs. What you've always wanted. Lily was silent for a while, then unbuttoned her collar and tried to seduce me. I felt disgusted. Damn it. She's even more disgusting than those male employees in my company, who don't flush the toilet after using it. Jim, I'll give you another chance as long as you're willing to marry me. I'll let go of all the past and live a good life with you. Does your urine that? I'm telling you to take a good look at yourself. Can't you see clearly? I don't want a slut like you. I think you're dirty, and I'm afraid you have some diseases. I called the security guards with a phone call and had her thrown out. You idiot. Get the hell away from me. Lily was dragged out. Jim. You just wait for me. Then the fanatical fan who killed me in my previous life appeared in the underground garage of my company. I wasn't surprised at all. Lily is good at seducing men. It's quite normal that this crazy and neurotic man is willing to help her kill someone. After all, Lily loves to redeem this kind of social trash the most. What was his name again? I can't remember clearly. It doesn't matter anyway. He's just an insignificant person. The man pressed a knife against my waist, and Lily came out from behind him. She looked triumphant, with the corners of her mouth raised, her eyes full of arrogance and conceit, revealing a sense of complacency and self-importance. Jim, you didn't expect this, did you? I killed you once, and I can kill you a second time. I gave you a chance. You didn't know how to appreciate it. Give me 100 million yuan on a plane ticket abroad, or I'll take your life. Idiot. I've already been killed by you once. Do you think I'll give you a second chance? I didn't want to cause trouble for her at first and had always been watching coldly from the sidelines, but now that she's reborn, I can't leave this hidden danger behind and not avenge what happened in my previous life. I twisted my hand backward, dodged his knife with a grappling move, and pinned the man to the ground. When Lily saw that something was wrong and tried to run away, my bodyguards hiding in the dark caught her. There was sufficient evidence that she tried to harm me. I sent this stupid couple to prison. Lily was sentenced to 8 years for hiring someone to kill and extortion, and that man was sentenced to 6 years for attempted murder. I can be considered as ridding the people of a scourge. I specifically arranged for this fanatical fan to be in the same prison cell as Henry. Since they are both men related to Lily, I think they must have a lot of common topics to talk about. When I got home, Sophia was waiting for me with chicken soup she had cooked and took my coat and hung it up. She knew that Lily had caused me trouble, but she trusted me, all rights reserved by Y&E and story. She never doubted my love for her. Daddy, Addie, come up and play games with me, sister. My son poked his head out from upstairs and called me when he heard me come back. 6 years after getting married, Sophia gave birth to a son and a daughter for me. The children are obedient, cute, and have excellent grades. My father and mother have also retired early at this time. They are on a round-the-world trip with Sophia's mother, living a much more carefree and unrestrained life than Sophia and me. With my family happy and the one I love by my side, I have no regrets in this life.